how we doing? My name is Scott Church, and alongside Davion Lucy and Mr. J.D. Walker, and welcome to What Grinds My Gears Monday Night Edition, as we are now officially on Tax Day 2022. Gentlemen, how you guys doing?
I'm good.
Get it
Even
think about it
though,
for a second.
because even though with the weekend it was kind of crazy.
Yeah. So, but I know you've had a little bit of a chaotic situation in this case. Glad to have you back. Glad to have you here. I know you wanted to really, really kind of go into the stuff with Elon Musk. So I'm not going to waste any time on this. I know, like I said, that was something that you really wanted to roll with. So I'm going to open up the floor to you in this case because when it comes to Elon Musk and his possibility of buying Twitter and all the things that are basically pissing people off in the Twitterverse, I'm going to roll it over to you. Sir, go for it.
Okay, so Elon Musk is discussing that he wanted to basically purchase Twitter on his own accord.
Mhm.
What is your purpose of purchasing Twitter? Are you trying to be the next Zuckerberg and try to control the masses? Or you try to basically let the masses have free will?
Mhm.
I, on the other hand, feel as though no matter what power you have or what type of money you think you can make change, there's always an end game or always someone behind the scenes that you always have behind the scene. I mean, someone that you always have behind the scenes at the end of the day.
Mhm.
He probably have the perfect idea to let people have free reign. Other times he probably just feel like let's basically kind of modernize, censor everything. I'm going to be totally honest. It's just like playing politics.
Mhm.
He has a vision. Next thing you know, somebody behind the scenes tell him, "Don't play that vision. Don't do it. Like, don't do this. Do this, because that's what makes money."
Mhm.
And let's trust and believe. Elon Musk is a businessman. Let's all be honest. He makes money. We are the little people, and he is the high chief because of the money
Mhm.
aspect. And I remember saying one thing, and a lot of people hate this quote, and including Scott hate this quote. You could
Pausing
die
for
a hero. You could die a hero and live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Mhm.
And when I mention that to a lot of people, I'm not just saying it and just throwing it around, like it's some easy going. Elon Musk might have a vision, but at the end of the day, someone's going to be the puppeteer and tell him not to do it for whatever reason for their capital gain. That's just
Mhm.
like politics. That's just like the way things are in life. Every time you turn around, everybody wants to be the hero or want to die a hero. But when the chips are down and your popularity is going low, sometimes you have to do some corrupt stuff to basically be relevant. Look at Will Smith.
Mhm.
Slap that's heard across the world. His wife could have stopped him,
Mhm.
but she chose not to. And I hate bringing that up because at the end of the day, is it really going to hurt Will? Not really. It's going to blow over. It's going to, and then 10
Not
years
already.
probably going to want to be in 5 years. Let's be
Mhm.
real. Long as they ain't take the Oscar away from him, who cares? Um, Presidency, like I tell people, doesn't matter whether you're Republican or Democrat, conservative or whatever. At the end of the day, it's the right person get into that ear of the whoever's running or who's the president. They're gonna make adjustments. It
Mhm.
doesn't matter. And what drives my gears is it's the what's it? It's the never ending story. It's a
Mhm.
repeat over a repeat. Elon Musk buys Twitter, and he's going to do the same exact thing as the owner of Twitter. Just like Zuckerberg he made Facebook, just like he bought Instagram. It's going to be the same old story all over again, just cleaned up a little bit so it doesn't feel like it's the same thing.
Or it's just
So
really expensive trolling to screw with their stock price. So he
yeah,
can.
exactly. So I want everybody to realize, no matter what you do or what you get involved with, it's still a money game. War, money game.
Mhm.
There's nothing. Come on, like let's be real.
COVID, money game.
Money game. Oh, boxing, UFC, fix, money
Mhm.
game. So no matter how you look at it, this is really the whole thing. Someone that has a lot of money and they pay that company the right price, they're gonna sell it to them. And what you think they're gonna do? They always got somebody in their ear to basically say, leave it like it is, or make adjustments to better them. And that's all I have to say.
All right. So let me ask you this. There is some talk that he's considering if he buys Twitter, he's going to cut the salaries of all the board members down to goose egg. Yeah, I don't see that necessarily happening. I think it'd be kind of funny to have a board members that are literally making
He's
zero
just doing that to clear out the board.
Yeah.
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 And not only that, like who's actually going to do that? Depending, especially if they had the power to get rid of you.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he's trying to buy them outright, so they don't have the power to get rid of them.
But in a sense, you need the board members. No matter who has the power, the board members had to, even though let's say you buy it, they could basically dictate your power in that particular company. That's just like the president. Somebody could dictate the power of the president.
The money behind
it. Yeah.
$1 billion on each campaign at this point.
So let's say if he basically cut those people money down, by 3 weeks later he's fired.
Mm-hmm.
Or you don't know, or you'll be saying Elon Musk who? He owns Twitter. You don't hear too much about it. They just be like, we'll take the money and we'll play puppeteer.
Now here's the other side of it though, because a lot of people on Twitter are livid over the idea of the fact that he's going to have control, and they're worried about his attitude as far as his political beliefs, which nobody seems to be able to figure out. Because if it's a politician, he trolls the shit out of it. So I don't really know necessarily basically if Twitter's going to change that much. And if it does, what do you think he would do?
I'm gonna be totally honest. He's gonna do what he do every night, Pinky. Trying to take over the world. I'm sorry.
Bring with a little mix of Dr. Evil.
But no, he's pretty much going to basically either A, he's going to go by what the committee tells him to do, or B, is going to be a backlash back and forth. You got to look at the options. You got to look at the scenarios. Like I tell people all the time, look at the scenarios. Either A, he's just doing it just to keep himself occupied, or B, he's doing it just because he really want to make Twitter better, or C, he just want to make money no matter what.
Well, yeah, that's the big question in this.
I think C.
You think it could very well be just more money. With more money, more power, and everything that's available for that. Even as a billionaire, you still have the ability to fly more things into space. Which don't forget that's an option.
Yeah.
So I apologize, by the way. Apparently, my audio is glitching out a little bit here. It's pissing me off. So,
yeah, I'm having trouble hearing you a bit, Scott.
So what Scott says is, I understand. We're gonna be working on it as soon as possible. There's some technical issues, but in the meantime, we're going to continue the show. So,
yes. So basically, what we're going to do is I'm going to give you a topic. You can talk amongst yourself. The Bolshevik Revolution, was it really resulting as it seems to be? Go.
The what revolution?
The Bolshevik Revolution. I don't know shit about it. Yeah. So, all right. Yeah, let me see what I can do here in the meantime. I'm sorry about this. So what we'll do in this case right now is, JD, how was your weekend? How was your Easter? Did you do anything of value on that?
Easter was fine. We ended up staying home. Didn't really do too much, but it was we've had a lot of craziness lately, so it was good to chill for a bit.
All right. you see, that's the weird thing about Easter. And again, I apologize, my audio is still cocked up here. I don't know what's going on. But I don't think people are celebrating Easter the same way it used to be. You know,
Yeah.
I knew there was a guy doing construction on the house yesterday. We were over at my mother-in-law's yesterday. My parents were sick, so nothing happened there. But I don't think Easter has the same impact that it used to.
I mean, for me, Easter's kind of a weird holiday for me personally. Um, I kind of feel like if you don't have kids or aren't around kids that you're giving doing Easter egg hunts and baskets and whatnot, and you're not particularly religious, that there isn't much to it. Like if you're not going to church or you're not doing something for the kids, then there really isn't much to it.
Like with me growing up in a Christian home, I always looked at it in a way where it was more Resurrection Sunday,
Right.
the Christ, the drinking of the wine, the breaking of bread. But as far as Easter, as a kid, yes, it was adorable. In your mind, while you're a child, it's fun. But when you start maturing more and more, you're like, what's the real purpose of this? Of the rabbit? And it has nothing to do with what the true meaning of the whole East resurrection means. I'm like what the
I was
bunny
thinking of the South
represents.
Park episode.
Yep.
Yeah, and then that's what basically brought me back to it, and because it made me laugh. So I will purposely watch that just because on Easter. But at the end of the day, when you become an adult with no kids, because some people have kids, you understand the whole tradition with the egg and the rabbits. But someone like me that has no kids, you look at it like rabbit, and it's supposed to be Resurrection Sunday. Why are we doing all this Easter crap? Like, what's the meaning of having a rabbit? What's the purpose of it?
It is kind of a weird stretch, when you go from, I mean, with Santa Claus to Christmas, and he's celebrating the holiday, and supposedly Santa was originally Turkish or something. I can see that stretch, but to go from like a half-naked dead man on a cross to a bunny handing out chocolate eggs is a little bit of a stretch there.
Yeah, like you're like kind of questioning everything. Like, why? What's the purpose? Like,
a friend
I'm
sent
doing
me
my.
Sorry.
No, I'm just doing my weird face.
Yeah. A friend sent me a link before
Yeah.
to a Twitter page to a Twitter post where it was somewhere in West Virginia where they had an Easter parade where it was like Stations of the Cross, but it was parade floats, from trailers behind tractors or something. Where they had live Stations of the Cross on a parade rolling through town. It was part Mardi Gras, part complete with the hammer and everything. It was part Bob the Builder, part Mardi Gras parade, part Passion of the Christ. It was a little
trying to get those kids back,
Like, yes. Besides eggs, we're giving you alcohol eggs.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I look at Easter when I was a kid. You do the dressed up, you do the eggs and everything. I was raised Methodist, and I never. It was like here's the weird thing with me growing up. My parents would drop me off at Sunday school and then go hang out with friends and then pick me up later. So I never knew anything bizarre about that until I started telling some people about it. And churchgoers are like, they did what now? I was like, yeah, they just drop me off and pick me up later.
I mean, I went to Catholic high school and Catholic college, so that was dragged to church a lot, through childhood. So, like, but even then, it seemed like yes, it was a big deal, but it's not the same as Christmas or even as First Communion, as far as like throwing a big party or whatever
it is the high holy holiday
with family members. But just even in my family, even in the religious sense, it was just like, okay, I guess we'll go to and my family was the type that we went to the vigil mass Saturday evening, so we didn't have to wake up Sunday morning. So that tells you where we were at.
Right. Like with us, like we do the Pentecostal where our services are super long.
Mm-hmm.
So we'd be like, don't get me wrong, we had those moments where we sit back like, okay, can you hurry up the sermon? Like get to the message. But
can the choir play him off after a certain amount of time?
Yeah.
After 30 minutes of the sermon.
Okay. Devani, I guess you're probably the most Christian of the three of us in this case. What is your
Are you
take?
serious? Wow.
I'm guessing as much. I mean, I could be 1,000% wrong. If I am, please correct me. I mean, on our side, my wife and I will, when available, we'll usually do one of the online services.
Right.
In my case, and we're going into politics or religion in this case, which is not usually the direction I typically try and go with, but trying to get myself back into spirituality a little bit more. It's something that the online experience is a little easier because I don't have people that come up and quick hug me. Hi, how are you?
Right. Like,
as long as you can click that donate button, that's all that matters for the church.
Yeah.
Usually.
Like, to be honest with you, like, we kind of, me and my mom and some of my family members have stopped going. Like, we still stay true by, reading the Bible. Like, we all make mistakes. We're all human. Do I think it's any different? Like, I think virtually it's a safe route due to, you don't know people's beliefs on certain things for some, and others, some people feel as though they need to be in the church house and they need to praise God in their own way. So it all depends. Like, some people choose to stay home and watch it from there, and others, they really need that actual place because maybe it's traditional, maybe there is a comfort aspect for a religious sense of being inside of a holy place or holy sanctimony or sanctuary. So it varies. It depends on the. It doesn't make you less Christian or anything. It just basically states that that's your comfortability. You like being around people. Others, not so much during, especially with the times that we're in.
Well, I think for me, a lot of times what the issue is that, and I've just tried changing a couple settings, so this is any better, let me know. I think one of the things for me is I struggle a lot because, like, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and He found it to be good. We're now going to read from Matthew chapter 3, verse 6. I'm like,
oh, that mellow, mellow type tone.
Yeah.
And I try to explain that to the guy who married us. Literally, it's like people, especially with online setup, you have a one camera setup where it's like some dude on basically the tripod, and it's like you can't entertain people at that point. I need more life with that. So the online service in Maine has like a 7-camera setup. It's got massive editing going on, and it's like, okay, I can get behind this.
Just up the production value, add some explosions, just to keep it interesting, right?
Dude, their editor, I don't know who their editors are, but I'm gonna friggin' hire them. Their editors are phenomenal with their stuff.
But to be honest with you, as far as church setups, I don't think it has anything to do with the production value. It just have to do with the minister themselves.
Yes.
If you're a person that's in the beginning, God have created man and woman, this and that, and John chapter. Of course, somebody's going to fall asleep because it's not interesting. It's not enticing. You're not.
Yeah.
You're not excited.
Yeah. Well,
it's not,
when we were in church growing up, my mom was usually, my dad was in the aisle, my mom in the middle, and I was on the inside. So usually my mom was alternating, elbowing me or my dad, trying to keep us awake, depending on the priest saying mass that night. And so this one guy he was a little funnier, but very long winded. So his sermons were 20 plus minutes each time. The other guy was quicker, but he was usually a little more boring.
Right.
But he kept the pace flowing, which I certainly appreciated as somebody that didn't really want to be there. So between growing up in the Catholic Church and ending up at a Catholic high school and a Catholic college. Needless to say, I'm pretty much only at church for and with the issues of the Catholic Church as an institution, as I like to call it, the most corrupt corporation on the planet for 2,000 years and counting.
Shots fired.
Yeah, but at least that's my feelings and my experience,
Yeah.
and it's just weddings and funerals for me now. But that's
fair.
but or if there's another event or community thing that falls for it, but I'm not going out of my way for it. But that's my experience having grown up in it. I'm good.
Here's the thing: the one that basically we use online in Maine, like I said, has the multi-camera setup. It has great audio quality, great video quality, and it's nice to just like chill on the couch, cup of coffee in hand, me, Robin, the cat, and it's just mellow. Get dressed up. Again, I don't have people coming up and trying to hug me. I had that yesterday. I'm not a touchy person by nature, so I have a bunch of complete strangers, and I don't do well in social situations when I'm typically on my own. So when I got a bunch of strangers that are like, "Hi, welcome, thank you for coming," I'm just kind of like,
especially in the age of COVID, like
way.
please keep staying 6 feet away from me.
Oh, true. I got invited to some of these things, and these people are coming in with hugs, and I'm like, all right, well, this is happening right now. And like I said,
Wow.
I think it bothers some people, myself included, because you don't know anybody yet. Handshake, sure, I can roll with a handshake.
Yeah.
But when it's somebody I just met for the first time, and you're coming in and you're giving me a 5-second hug, like dick to dick, it's like I'm not crazy about this right here. It's like I just met you, and basically your balls are touching.
See, the one thing about the churches I go to, like we always do this, like man, yeah, hug, yeah,
yeah, bro hug,
Yeah, okay.
or fist bump.
yeah, like you're my
Yeah,
brother, yeah, you're my
bro
brother.
hug.
But
Bro hug. Okay.
but as far as we was talking about the pastors and the ministers, I have to say one thing about my pastor for the time. He is very entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Long with it, but entertaining. Every sermon we have, he talks about. He'll basically do every ministers that came in, and he'll imitate them. He'll like, and the Bible says, "Wait, how many of y'all want me to do the particular ministers you love?" He'd be like, "And the Bible says," or "In the beginning." Yeah, and he would do it, and he'd be like, he'll put some funny nudge into the sermon to make it entertaining, which I loved about my pastor. It was, it's comical, but at the same time, he does like interaction. He loves to interact with the audience. He loves to ask questions to the people. And it's not a boring segment, which I give my pastor 100%. You're long-winded, I ain't gonna lie, because you'd be like, I do gotta go to work. I still need that energy for the next day. Or, dude, I got something going on that I have to be at. It is ticking. Clock is ticking.
Did you
But
ever see?
It's like a stand-up comedy routine that runs running a little too long.
yeah.
There was a guy, a comedian, fantastic comedian by the name of Richard Jenny. I don't know if you remember him. His biggest
Richard
claim
who?
to fame,
The name chopped out. I didn't hear.
Richard Jenny, Jeni.
Okay.
Yeah, Jenny.
His best claim to fame probably was he was the best friend of Jim Carrey in The Mask.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about.
He had a great career, and he had a bit on that about the expedited church. He's like, how you doing? Shut the fuck up, sit down. I'm Anthony Cipotelli. Shut down. I'm double parked. All right, right up front. Basically, I want to let you know you got your Saints, you got your Cardinals. I got $50 on the Saints over the Cardinals. Basically, all y'all a bunch of piece of crap. Go drink the wine. We're out, guy. And it was just like that. It was just.
Just do communion with one of those Nerf disc guns, just.
But yeah, it was always funny because that's kind of the church that I would prefer, or the ones that give you free shit. So that one in Maine, the times that we were up there, They're like, okay, we have coffee, we have donuts, we have sandwiches, we have cans of soda. What would you like? It's like, is there a charge? No, I mean, if you want to throw a couple bucks in the donation plate, it's like, take a can of Coke and a soda. Thank you. Am I allowed to eat? I'm allowed to eat it inside? Oh, dude, nice. You know, a turkey
Just
club.
don't make a mess.
Yeah, exactly. Just clean up after yourself. But yeah, turkey club and a can of Coke and just like chilling out, and everybody wears jeans and a t-shirt. Nice.
And I like churches like that. I do not like the fact that you have to dress up in a suit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what is the purpose of that? Why?
I was a
Why are
5-year-old in a leisure suit in 1980.
like why? And they'd be like, oh, because you're basically glorifying God by. I'm like, how am I glorifying God and dressing up in a suit? Is he going to give me a? Is he going to give me a brand new job that's 6 digits?
Yeah.
If he does, I'll wear a suit every single day.
Exactly, yeah. But yeah, no, I never understood that either. I used to have
Yeah.
to do that when I was a hyperactive kid. But the shitty part for me was a kid. I was like one of the only 2 kids that could be an acolyte. So I'd hope I'd get out of Sunday school and go home. And they're like, "Can you be an acolyte for the service?" And I'm like, "Shit, it's an hour and a half service. I'm hyperactive as crap. I can't sit still in the front row because the minister's looking right at me. There's nothing to read. There's nothing to play with. I got nothing to work with here. This is the era before video games and cell phones, in hand. And I was just miserable as like this ADHD hyper, like 12-year-old. And it's just like, I got the little pencil. I can draw. I got someone next to me. We can play tic tac toe. It's like,
like you try to find something to keep yourself active.
Yeah.
Like so you
start counting the panels in the stained glass windows.
yeah. Like,
or some will actually read the Bible for the past.
Yeah. And some of them actually do it badly because they can't read because they're like 90 years old. They can't see it.
In the beginning, and I or E
MVA?
Evian.
Yeah, product placement in the church. This sermon is brought to you by Avion, Pfizer, and Walmart. Walmart, for all your needs, basically available at an affordable price.
Yeah. And there was in a town I used to live in, it was some new age church or whatever. They eventually built their own building, but they started out by renting out the local movie theater. That had a built-in tagline that was a missed opportunity. Come check out, new whatever church. You'll stick to Jesus like you'll stick to the floor.
Wow. Yo.
That works, though.
That will work. Wow.
Here's one thing I don't understand. In the film industry in general, you have these shows that center around sex, drugs, corruption, prostitution, murder, rape, insert all of these things. And their staging areas, their holding area, and their catering is always in a church.
That's true.
Yeah.
I was in a church today. It was a riot scene between we had a bunch of rioters and also cops. A stunt broke out. Tear gas is involved and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, hey, we're on this church in Manhattan. Praise Jesus.
So wait, so like if you have taking a break from filming or whatever, the break room is in the break setup or whatever the downtime is in a church.
Or basically go catering, like the wardrobe area, for example, the staging area for a lot of this stuff as well. Yeah, they'll rent out a church and just pay a church like $10,000 for the day.
Probably counts as a donation, so it's a write off for the cost of the production.
And the church makes bank because a lot of these churches just rent out to every production in New York, so they make $10,000, $100,000 a week or more just from renting out the basement that they're not even using anyway. You know, and when you're in Manhattan, it's probably pretty high rent over there too.
I can only imagine what like the more iconic places, like say St. Patrick's Cathedral, like if you were to rent that
Been
out,
there,
how much would that cost?
been there. You know, they film in St. Patrick's stuff. So, but I don't even know if I should talk. I don't. I don't fucking know what I should do. I really don't.
It's getting better, but it still is.
Yeah.
Crap. Yeah. So.
But also, like for the original topic, as far as like is Easter dying, quote unquote, it's more of a thing like just as the church in general becomes less of a institution in society. There's I don't know what the percentage of people who actively go to church services is a lot less than it was in generations past. So
right.
It's basically just discount candy day at Walgreens today.
Oh yes. Yeah. Thanks. Oh yeah, but I can't eat candy. Oh god.
All right. By the way, just let me know right up front. How is this working right now? Yes, no. Is it completely
no difference?
No difference.
No difference. Okay, so it's in the cable.
You probably have this. You probably have the settings set to the wrong, pointing at the wrong.
I think it could be the cables. It could be the wires.
It's the exact same setup. It's the same setup I have always used. So we're going to basically turn this entire show into just me trying to do audio cleanup here. Let's see, echo cancel, auto.
So what will be the next topic we're going to talk about besides these?
I was saying, changing topic. I was going to say
the question marks like the Cards Against Humanity card.
Bees. Fucking bees, man. Yeah, we're going to go over to basically a wasp. Fuck wasps.
Oh, don't get me started with bees and wasps. They're pretty much the same family. Oh god, as a kid, don't get me started. My grandparents used to have a huge bee infestation. And I remember waking up because I felt a sharp pain in my arm. And guess what I see above trying to stay alive and then like crawling like, yo, I hope he don't see me. I saw that joker smash that sucker and put him in his arm. I was like, oh, stung me in the arm. And then it was I think that was my second week working the job I'm currently working at. Yo, I woke up in excruciating pain by that bee sting. My arm was swollen for like a good 5 hours. It ain't lasted that long, but it was just the audacity for the bee to sting me while I was asleep.
That's when your house. That's when you burn your house down.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, the reason I wanted to bring up wasps is because I found my first one for the new season at the house, and I'm terrified of these bastards. Spiders I can handle. Ants I had no problem with. Wasps, I piss myself royally. So I'm sitting there with a mask over my face, and I'm sitting there trying to poke it out the window with a pizza box because I'm like, I'm not gonna say the hell with this thing, Devani may disagree with my philosophy here. I'm put. Care to disagree?
Rules of engagement: never talk about Fight Club. In this situation, never poke on wasp.
It worked though. Got him out of the house.
It may have got him out of the house, but they always come back. They always
that wasp is going to come back looking for you.
Yes.
Tomorrow.
Be like, oh, because you antagonized it. Luckily, he's gone.
Oh, dude, it was a big bastard. It was a full size, wasp there too.
Yeah. My partner's highly allergic to bees, so I'm hyper aware of them. We actually have a huge holly tree in our backyard that we've been working on chopping down. Yes, it's holly tree, not holly bush, because her grandmother who loved the holly so much that it just grew unchecked for decades and is now 2 stories tall. It took up the entire backyard when we first started working on it.
Wow.
Now we have got about 2/3 of it down. Hopefully we can been cutting it down a little bit at a time in the spring and the fall. We have to do it in the spring before the bees completely take it over. Because once the bees get in there, nope, we're leaving it there for the summer. But just that holly tree with all of the bees it attracts, the poisonous berries, those what's it called, the lantern flies, the invasive annoying red bugs. Just they need to go. Plus whatever birds nest in it. We try to shake the tree to keep them from setting up shop there. Like, dude, this home is not going to be here very long. Go somewhere else.
You shake a tree that has bees and wasps in it.
Shake it with the bird's nest before the bees set up shop. They're like, this is the perfect time of year for it. If the bees are in, luckily, no bees nests in the past 2 years. I haven't. Last year we didn't see anything. Nothing yet this year. We want to try and get it down soon before they set up shop. But like I've gone over like the EpiPen training of just if in case something happens, here's how you do here's how you do this. Pull the pin out, stab it, stab the leg, and just that, and that will make you hyper aware.
You want to stab it like that, like in Pulp Fiction?
It's really, in your leg, not your heart, like in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, I was about to be like, if you stab somebody in the EpiPen in their heart, yeah, not a, yeah,
probably gonna go well.
Yeah,
you need call Harvey. You need to call Harvey Keitel to come clean up a lot more.
All right, I'm going to try and regale this story. I have no idea how well this is going to work because my audio is pissing me off, and apparently you guys are having a hard time with it. Apologies.
No.
So 20 years ago, when I was living in Clifton at the time, I had an attic in the apartment that I was in, and first time actually I was making lunch, and I was making some pasta. Dropped the pasta on the floor, stepped on the pasta, bare feet. Looking down, looking for it, can't find it. I just dropped it. Where the hell did it go? And then it turns out that it was not pasta that I in fact dropped. It was a wasp that I stepped on barefoot, who was crawling, hanging on to life basically at the end of the kitchen. Freaked me out. Beat the shit out of it with a stick or with a shoe. The next morning, about 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm sitting there and I'm asleep in bed, and all of a sudden I hear.
Oh
God.
Nope.
And I wake up, and no joke, 3 days in a row in that apartment. There, the living room. I started sleeping in the living room. They were waking me up by crawling on my face.
Oh, nope.
Yeah. And if you ever want to hear what basically a 20-some-year-old guy sounds like as a 12-year-old girl, basically after inhaling helium, you hear what I sound like. I didn't have hairspray to work with, so I'm sitting there using, in this case, Pam. So I would sit there, I would grab whatever was available. These bees would actually be on the curtains in the bedroom, and all I had available was Pam, the butter spray. So I would sit there and I would butter up my curtains.
Trying to can Pam into a flamethrower to
to gum up the wings and beat the shit out of the thing. But I called the apartment complex. I'm like, dude, I got fucking wasps. Yeah, we heard something about that. We're gonna send somebody out. They probably can't make it out till next week. And I'm like, fuck you next week. Your ass is getting here fucking tomorrow. I ain't paying your ass.
You need to tell them you're allergic in order to get them to do anything. Seriously.
Yeah.
Like that's a health hazard. Yeah. Like, I'm allergic, and if something happens, we're suing your ass. Yeah. Fix this shit yesterday.
It was honestly, it was an apartment complex where the heating unit was basically a knob underneath the radiator for like the 1940s. So really complex. One of my neighbors had literally lived there since 1955, him and his wife. and rent controlled, so they're probably paying like $200 a month for this apartment for like a one-bedroom apartment. But oh my god, I was fucking terrified. I hated these things ever since then. You know, even now as I'm looking at that picture, it is freaking me the hell
out. And like, there's wasps, there's honeybees, there's yellow jackets, there's different, like, some of them are nice and won't bother you, but wasps are just fucking assholes. You know, where they'll just
yeah. Yeah, just be like, yeah, I'm a big boy now. It's like that school bully that comes in saying, hey, guys, yeah, see what I'm going to do to Johnny right here. Yeah.
Head into the locker. But yeah, no, I personally, like I said, these guys freak me out. Down here in this basement, I get, spiders. I get house centipedes. I saw a big spider yesterday. I won't tell Robin about it. She'll lose her mind. But, I mean, I get those house centipedes that are like yay big. That just like hang on a wall.
Oh, yeah.
I don't mind them necessarily as long as I don't step on them. But, I mean, I guarantee if I look around right now, I would probably find one.
Some species of those, they do have a bit of, venom or whatever that, can cause a rash or another issue depending on your sensitivity level. So you still should be careful with those, but they're not to the level of wasps or bees or anything.
I think,
go ahead. My partner's arachnophobic, so I'm the designated spider wrangler, for when we have to deal with those.
Now, do you kill or do you toss outside?
Oh, I kill the bastards.
Okay. I try to do the outside unless they piss me off too much.
Like, I used to be the person that kill them, but then after a while, seeing how significant spiders are, I was like, let them live. Take him outside or flush him down this hole while he's alive. He'll live.
And then he'll drown in the piping system.
My thing on is I won't kill them outside, but if they come into my house, yep, you've come in here, this is, all right, you got to go. Sorry. And also depends on the size we're talking. The little ones, fine, whatever. But I've seen some, like at one house I lived in, I opened the blinds on my bedroom window one day, and there was a flower bed right outside my window. So there was some plant that grew long stems of something. And between two of them, the two stems was a web with this huge bastard, like 2 inches big, on the web, just chilling, staring right at me when I opened the hands. Just, hey, what's up? I said, yep, nope.
Oh, that little, like the little YouTube videos of that little spider kid, like, oh, I just want to say hello. I'm just your friend. I'm not a. And you was like, die, no.
Yeah, and then the spider bites the kid, and the kid's like, fuck you. Beat it to death with their
That's for some people when they take that can of Pam or whatever that you were just spraying it. I've known people that will take that and then try and make it into a flamethrower to burn them. And that's how you burn your house down.
Yeah, facts.
Actually, funny thing about that place, I didn't realize this, but the stove had 2 pilot lights, and the stove was right by the window. So when I had the window open one day, it blew out the pilot light. Figuring it was only one, I relit the pilot light, and for about 6 months, I did not realize there was a second pilot light that was actually. I was breathing gas fumes for 6 months. It's a hell of an apartment, I got to tell you.
Wow, I had that. I had that in my house too, where there was some spider nest or something that had set up in the furnace over the winter. So they had to be vacuumed out in order to get the pilot light to restart. When we had to call PSE&G or whoever to come and service it, and they just said, "Yeah, there's a lot of dust and spiders in here. We vacuum those suckers up. You should be good now."
No, you could turn the pilot light on while they was doing their little.
Please turn the pilot light on and fry some of the bastards. Thanks.
I can't. I mean, the older I get, the less I like cold, and the less I like bugs. So I have to make a decision somewhere.
Trust and believe. You go warm weather, you see everything. You see big bugs, unusual bugs.
You see what
Yeah.
they got
Bugs
that's
you
down in
like,
Australia.
I went to
bugs you
Miami a
like.
few years ago, and the Florida bugs are a different category.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
was like, yeah, it's nice. I could see maybe I could see myself moving down here. No, for many, I eventually thought better of that for many reasons, but the biggest ones are the bugs and the gators. Just
Mhm.
Florida bugs, Florida spiders. I had a friend who lived down in Florida for a while, and she was told a story about how she was at a friend's house, with the guy she was with at the time, and it was and they were at somebody's house, and there was a spider that was like this big, probably like 4 inches big, on the wall by the door,
Mhm.
and she sees it, points it out to her buddy, and it was just like, well, you're packing, and he was a concealed carry guy, so she's like, you're packing, shoot him. It's just like, we're just gonna like. It's just like, hey, kiddo, because they had her kid with them and said, yep, we're gonna go, bye. they just grabbed the kid and left.
but
Yeah.
And just
but
as
I
they're
think
driving off, they just hear the owners of the house screaming when they found that spider.
Yeah.
but my
I
question is, isn't it has to do with the weather? Like the warmer it gets, the more poisonous or venomous those type of creatures are.
could be.
Because you notice if it's cold, you notice you don't hear too much about poisonous and venomous of that particular type of species.
Yeah, I think the warmer it is, the more likelihood you have of that.
Yeah.
Especially in tropical places like Florida, or Australia, which is, as I like to call Australia, the world's Florida, of all kinds of crazy creatures. Most of what is there just wants to kill you in one form or another.
Like no matter where you go, like you got the alligators that's basically hiding right there by the side of your house, like by the side of the door. Like when he opens that door and closes, I'm gonna snap at him. Watch it, Rocky. Rocky, watch me, watch me. I'm gonna snap at him. Once he okay, it's about to start. He opens the door. Darn it, Rocky! Why you made it?
And people go down to
But
Florida to play golf. When you just have a gator chilling in a water hazard, like, nope. Gator grabs your ball. Nope, I guess we're going home now.
not even that. You have a bunch of people that's from Florida. They literally smack the gator, wrestle the
Yeah.
gator, open his mouth, grab the thing out of it, and then like, and go about their business. Like,
Yeah.
and you're like, wait, this is the reason why they call us Yankees. I agree. We're Yankees. I'll take
Yeah.
it.
Well, they can have their gators and and I'll keep them down there.
Yeah. So I'm letting you know now. When that Joker bites me, look, I'm letting you know now. It's gonna be, I want my arm.
Now,
Somebody's not living.
by the way, this came through, by the way, Davion, on your feed. So
Yeah.
Ryan's comments, 5 in a row here. In capital letters, fuck all bees except honeybees. May they burn in hell where they came from. Fuck them all with the grace and strength of every deity ever created. May their parents disown them and leave them out of the will. And they should be encased in amber like the prehistoric monsters they are, and then stepped on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Now, that's creative.
Yeah.
Yes. That actually is accurate, too.
That makes me want to invest in a flamethrower.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah. Matter of fact, did anybody ever seen that movie Arachnophobia?
Yeah. That wasn't that
I
bad. I
haven't.
couldn't handle that movie.
It wasn't that bad of a film, but it was interesting. Like,
Yeah,
will we?
I can handle that movie for the most part. So.
Okay. Oh yeah, you already told me. Yeah, you don't like.
Yeah.
Trying to think. We talked about bees and Watts
Yes.
and what's the next
We
topic?
talked about my audio for some reason. How that's not flying where I wanted to. So
Well, It's the Wyatt. Screw the Wyatts. No Wyatt Angus.
So, but yeah. So as far as this goes, also we need to figure out Ryan's comments on Davion's feet is not showing up on my side here on the screen.
Wait, what happened?
Ryan's comments that he had were actually on your Facebook feed, which don't show up in my chat.
Which is kind of weird.
Yeah. So, yeah, it says social comments, click on the showcase. So it's like, yeah. Yeah, see, that's all I literally have right now on that side. So, because that's really impressive to look at, right?
Yeah, because I thought it was where through the platform we use, where if it's linked to one of your accounts and a comment on there, we're supposed to see it here.
Right.
Yeah. No, I literally have nothing right here, and I've seen that before with Facebook, where apparently I look at it later and there's like 7 comments in there, and I can't see them here. I need to figure out why that is. I'll be honest. We are not necessarily sticking to Facebook. There's a couple other options out there.
What's funny is that a friend of mine literally just texted me the same thing. Look in your chat. Which one?
Yeah, why? Like I said, it's not showing up. Ryan sent me a message right now. So I do so. Okay, this is not grind my gears. This is fix the tech show.
Yeah.
I got my tech I got to fix. We got that shit we got to fix. This live air show has suddenly turned into, let's see, what can we fix here now? All right, I got to figure this out. I might have to basically, Brian, if you're hearing this, let me know if you're available tomorrow before. Go ahead.
Next new title of the show, besides grinding my gears, Fix My Ish Show.
Hi, I'm Scott Churchson, and welcome to Fix My Ish. What's your ish, and how can I fix it?
I mean, you did work as an IT guy, so for
okay. JD will back me up on this. JT will back me up on this. When you work in any kind of tech field, basically it really comes down to my computer doesn't work. I'm blaming you. It turns out it's really my fault. I'm blaming you twice as hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, go ahead.
I'm a systems analyst, so I deal with it on a bigger scale.
I apologize if anybody on this show that's from my job, that's IT. It was one incident. I had a meltdown, flipped out moment because I'm normally the guy that fixes everything, like from the computers to printers, even though I'm a regular worker.
Mm-hmm.
Just that day, that printer, because it had an error, and I couldn't figure out the error because it kept saying there was a jam, and there was no jam.
Why does it say paper jam when there is no paper jam?
It was just a computer. It was a glitch. And I'm like, how am I supposed to know? I need my printer. I need this paper so I need like, yo. And he was like asking me all these questions, and I'm like, I need you to come. I ain't got time for this. I need you to bring your buddy and fix this.
No, you don't. IT people do not want to get up and leave. I did not want to make house calls. House calls suck.
No,
and
in
my case, you send the interns to do that.
No, but
the interns do more than I did anyway.
But I was the guy that always fixed the stuff, which was not a problem. It was just that day I was like, bring your buddy here and fix this crap. I don't know what the hell's going on here. I had a meltdown.
You don't want to make that trip. You really don't.
Right. But then he came, he realized, it was something that he had to come in and fix. It wasn't nothing I was able to do that I knew. So, whoo! That's what got my...
Yeah. So, all right. So the comment that my friend was trying to take regarding the bug conversation was that at Disney's Animal Kingdom theme park, they have a Bug's Life show inside the Tree of Life. At the end of the show, the doors open and the announcer says, "Please remain seated for our friends to exit first," and then they spray air under your ass to make you think that bugs are crawling under you in the dark. Nope.
Disney did that. A lot of their rides, they would put things underneath that would just freak you out at the last second.
Are you serious?
Honey, I Shrunk the Audience. From the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, they actually had like giant rats. So in the show, so they would actually have something underneath the seats that would whack you in the leg, like a tail.
I would have walked off and said, "Yo," I would have walked off. I would have walked off that stage. I would have walked out that place. I would have been done. I would not be able to handle that.
I've known people that that went through haunted houses, but they were a little too, but they weren't warned properly as far as what was going to be happening in this haunted house, and he
Mhm.
straight up and somebody tried to jump out and scare him, and he straight up, just not even thinking, just punched the guy.
You hear
Hey,
about
man.
stories.
It's a Pavlovian, just an instinctual response.
Right.
Now,
Like,
Davion, let me say this. Okay, go ahead, please.
no, go ahead.
I was going to say, let me say this: haunted houses don't scare me.
Yeah, they
Are
don't.
just passing that on for
Oh no.
next
Like I
level.
love. No. You know what I love? Was it one of those escape the rooms haunted moments?
Hmm.
Those are the best. I did a Resident Evil escape the room.
Okay,
I've never done an escape room, but I've heard that they're fun. That they're
they're
fun.
awesome.
Get a good
They're
one.
awesome.
They're stressful as hell, but they're awesome.
When they had the crawler scratching
Mhm.
the wall in the first stage of the escape the room, you knew I figured out the password right away. I was like, and the guy was like, "Yo, you were supposed to see a thing, but this guy right here unlocked every single lock like it was nothing and didn't even break it. He just figured out the numbers and got out."
Actually, I know what room we need. We need to have a Tommy Wiseau the room escape room.
Oh my god. Oh my god, Susan. I did not hit her. I
I
did
did
not
not
hit
get her. Okay, Tommy Wiseau. I have to say this. He, Greg Sestero, and another guy, they have a new movie called Giant Shark. Apparently, it hasn't been released yet, but it's a Sharknado thing where Tommy Wiseau plays a scientist.
Where are we going with this?
We're just. It's one of those things. I just realized that basically we can have an escape the room, or the room escape the room,
Yeah.
and then I just go down my Tommy Wiseau rabbit hole every chance I get. So
I did not hit her. I did not hit her. Hi, Pa.
actually, I gotta get Robin Paris on. She was in that movie too. I'm Facebook friends with her.
Yo,
Uh,
but just think about it, just him just and his voice, like his. Don't get me wrong, it's a cult classic for some strange reason, but his acting was like, why?
I have one question for you, JD. I have no idea if you're familiar with the room where Tommy Wiseau ring is. You're looking very quiet right there.
I couldn't even. I didn't hear the name, and Tommy Wiseau. I don't know who that is.
Okay, okay. Um, Suffice it to say, arguably one of the worst movies ever made, and one of the most hilariously, amazingly worst movies ever made. It spawned a documentary movie with James Franco, Matt Franco, and Seth Rogen
You're right.
that actually was about the making of this movie. It's that bad. And
What was it
you're
called?
gonna, the room, literally,
The
just
room.
the room.
The Room. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. It is an amazingly horribly terrible movie. As from someone who loved
I've
it,
heard of it, but I've never been able to actually attempt to watch.
I got it on DVD over here. But Davion, you're gonna love this if you ever get the chance. Samurai Cop 2. It is a sequel to actually Samurai Cop 1, which was a terrible movie terrible movie in the 90s. But they did a sequel. Tommy Wiseau is the leader of an evil ninja clan.
The disrespect. The disrespect of my
It's
shot.
amazing. It's so awesome. It's even better than the room because it's they brought him in knowing full well that like this movie is going to be so awesome. Everybody's going to love the fact that he's here. And yeah, you
So
will not.
anything Tommy Watts does, think of Street Fighter the movie 10 times as
billion.
worse. John Claude
Oh,
Beckham high on coke. This guy is already the coke.
basically he dropped $6 million of his own money to make this movie. Nobody really knows where. Like I said, watch the movie, and then possibly if you want to watch the documentary or read the book. The book was a bestseller. from his best friend that wrote basically behind the scenes of what it was like making this movie and his decisions and just the inanities of everything that Tommy Wiseau did with this movie. And it was just it's so beyond a cult classic. It's arguably the worst movie ever made, and it is so much fun. Oh my god, maybe that should be a watch party. So,
Oh God.
So my friend just sent me because of the comments not really working. He sent a movie poster for Big Shark Big Shark.
yes.
Uh-huh.
All right, I'll see if. I don't know how well you can see that, but
Here.
Can New Orleans survive? Is the tagline. I guess sharks attack New Orleans or something. Who knows?
Yeah, it's like I said, it's not giving the way I want it to. All right, you know what? Fudge it. There. This is not how I wanted to do this, but fudge it. We'll just do it this way anyway.
We're doing it live.
We're doing it live. Fuck it, we're doing it live. So yeah, there's Tommy Wiseau. Like I said, not the way I quite wanted this to go, but for Tommy Wiseau. But yeah, we don't know how old he is. We don't really know exactly where he's from. He says he's from New Orleans. We kind of heavily doubt that, but it's what you're getting with Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah.
And it's just, oh my god! I mean, it's like from Creator of the Room. Yeah, like I said, I'm a little surprised in some ways that you hadn't heard of it, but that's actually a good thing, I think. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, check that out. So, all right. How's my audio? Is it any better?
It keeps going in and out.
Out.
Ah! All right. Guess what I got for homework tomorrow? Good. I need to figure that out. All right. I figure it's 8:00. We can wrap this up unless you guys had any other final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Watch the room, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yes. That seems like the kind of movie that being under the influence of something would that help or hurt the viewing experience?
I think it would help in a sense.
Here's the thing. I don't know if that would be too much.
Yeah,
because,
sometimes if you have a few drinks or whatever, that it might make it worse.
First time, watch it sober. Second time, you watch it drunk. I think that's the way to do it.
Oh no. I thought it was watch it high, then watch it sober, then watch it drunk.
I don't know if I can handle watching it 3 times.
You could. Honestly, you can. There's more shit every time. But yeah, I'm not gonna say anymore. I'm just gonna let you roll with that. Please be my guest. Just trust me as someone who is a bad movie buff, and even threw them into the opening. It is one of the worst ever. It really is. So,
Street Fighter. You forgot Street Fighter.
Well, Legend of Chun-Li, that's on par almost. But
yeah,
listen, the original Street Fighter from the '90s wasn't terrible.
It wasn't bad. It was so good that it was so bad that it was good.
Raul Julia saved that.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. John Claude was just high.
And Kylie Minogue was in it because of reasons. So
that's another time for another episode, ladies and gentlemen. We gotta go, Scott.
All right. So anyway, we're gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna fix my fucking audio problem. I don't know what the hell's going on with that. I swear this never happens to me, except for all the times it does. No, it's the same setup I had like all the other times when everything was fine. So I have no idea. Maybe it is a problem with the cable or something with the USB on that. I'll figure it out. Anyway, tomorrow, basically at 4 p.m., we have the Sports Den on the Streampunk Sports side of things. And at 7 p.m., we have Tales from the Film Set. 4 p.m., Mr. J.D. Walker should be on. And also 7 p.m., Mr. Davion Boozy should be on. I will be on both. In the meantime, you can always find us at streampunkent.com. You can find us on Twitch at Streampunk Sports and Tales from the Film Set. Same for YouTube. And yeah, you guys good?
Yeah, I'll be back for Sports Den tomorrow.
Fabu. So, all right. Until that time, I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Thanks as always. Thank you, Ryan, for letting us know. We're going to figure out that thing because now this is, what grinds my gears about technology. And until tomorrow.